Thanks for joining us today. I'm Sophia Lucia Parola with Garden State Film Festival. This year, from March 21st to March 24th, we are holding the 22nd annual Garden State Film Festival in Asbury Park, New Jersey, where it was born, and Cranford, New Jersey. We will be screening 200 films from 14 countries. You can check out these films, various films, all different types of levels. And one of those films you could check out is a short high school homegrown film called Slate. Here to talk with us is this lovely filmmaker and artist, Matea Conforti. She was the director, writer, producer, editor, and star of the film Slate. Matea,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you
Hello.
so much. Hi.
Thank you for taking the time out. How are you
Yes,
doing?
thanks for having me. I'm doing good. Just sitting in my house. Just got home from school earlier. Took a nap, so
Oh my
feeling
gosh.
great.
Refreshed. Well, you sound refreshed. You look refreshed, and I'm
Thank
refreshed.
you.
And I'm
Yep,
excited to talk to you about Slate.
me
So,
too.
before we get into it, can you tell our audiences a little bit about yourself and about your film?
Mhm. So growing up, I'm a professional actor. I've been in Broadway productions, movies, and TV shows, and it's been such a blessing for my life and amazing opportunities that I'll never take for granted. And um, last summer, I went to be a part of Syracuse's film production program, and I'd kind of already been in front of the camera, and just being behind the camera always amazed me, and the amount of jobs, the amount of work and collaboration that it really takes to create one creative vision, it's
Mm,
always inspired me. And I think as an actor, to become the most accomplished and the most versatile actor that you have to understand how it all works.
mhm.
So being a part of this program, I was taught how to film and how to edit and how to use lighting and sound to my advantage. So that's how I got into the filmmaking aspect of my life. But I'd always really enjoyed performing and being on camera and dancing and singing, and I just love expressing myself creatively, and I think everyone needs to. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Beautiful. I mean, I couldn't agree more with everything you just
Yeah.
said. And I obviously
Mhm.
knew you're a performer, not only just watching this film, but you could tell just with your energy as well.
Oh.
But what about Slate? I mean, was this born through the program in Syracuse that you were at, or when did you make this film and what was the
Yeah.
inspiration?
So I made this film during like the last few days of the program that I
Mm,
was doing. The project was to make a production that's like personal or a challenge that you've had to overcome. And growing up in a small town, it's been kind of hard to relate my acting and professional career to anyone else around me. No one was really interested in the same things as me.
mm,
So the only way that I was really able to express myself was to do the same art of performing and creating, to just kind of show the a bit of a sense of redundancy and repetitiveness behind acting and auditioning that you
mhm.
don't really get to see, because the audience really only sees the finished product and the actors that do end up booking the roles, which is amazing for them. But you don't really ever hear the stories of the actors that get past or have to work again. And
Mm.
it's a crazy mind game, and it's very repetitive, but if you really love what you do, you'll wake up the next morning and you'll be fine and you'll do it all over again.
Absolutely. And I mean, this story is so personal. You could tell just from watching it for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for audiences to see this. I'm an actor myself, and I mean, I've related to every single part of it. I
Yeah.
hate slates. I don't know if you like
Yeah.
slates, like I
I
genuinely
know,
hate
and
them.
and people have asked me, "Well, what does the title mean? Like, what
Yeah,
even is a slate?" And to me, it's kind of the most painful part to
yeah,
keep repeating your name and your age and your height and where you located. It's so redundant, and when you keep repeating it, it's like, "Oh, when will I ever finally get this moment where I don't
yeah,
have to do this anymore and I don't
yeah.
have to say who I am?" But it's just the one thing that's remained consistent no matter what audition you're doing.
Uh-huh.
Every character is different, but there's just this one consistency that's always the same.
Beautiful set. I mean, what a symbol, like, yeah, of
Yeah,
just the life of an actor, just having to do these slates over and over again. And we
yeah.
see in the film how many times you had to do it, literally, physically, you can see that. What was that like for you going back through your life of having to make these slates, not only
Mhm.
just going back and putting it together in this film, but then seeing it? Like, what was that
Yeah.
like for you?
when I was younger and when I would do my own auditions and when I would work on my own, I never really realized the amount of work or the quality of the work that I was doing. I was
Mhm.
just younger. I was just having fun in the industry. That was my hobby. But as you get older in this industry, it gets increasingly hard with an increase in competition, and
Mhm.
everyone wants the same roles now, and you're more mature in the industry. Therefore, the roles start to shift and things start to get different. So going back and seeing these, I just remember just feeling so naive and just so happy and just content with what I was doing. And I still am, but as you get older, you gain more and more perspective on your line of work or your hobbies or what the goals that you want to accomplish in your life. And I think it was so weird going back, because now I'm like, oh, this is something that I really want to do with my life. But when I was younger, I was just having fun. And
Mhm.
this was just my side hustle, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense. But it's crazy how I was so incredibly grateful to find a passion that I'm willing to stick with from a young age all the way up until now, and hopefully for the rest of my life.
Did you feel any different when it came to you as an actor or just in general after, like, making and watching this film? Did it yeah,
Yeah,
did you feel
I
different?
mean,
Yeah.
once you put all the pieces together and you put I showed a phone call with my mom in one of the scenes. It just it's so crazy seeing the same roller coaster journey just remaining consistent and just keep going over and over and over again. But when you finally put this finished product together, I don't know, it kind of creates a sense of a beginning and an end that you don't really see in the process of
Mhm.
currently auditioning or currently trying to get your name out there. When I make this story for myself, oh, I see that while I'll however the story is more of an emotional journey through my auditioning and that phase of my life. It kind of creates this like balance between, yes, I'm auditioning, and yes, there's this redundancy repeating, but I've been reminding myself why I'm doing this. And not only am I seeing that through my performance in the film, but also the editing and the filmmaking. And I'm still working, I'm still doing what I love to do, even though I'm not technically doing that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, oh my gosh, when you just said reminding yourself why you're doing it, that is
Yeah.
huge. I think so
Mhm.
many people as actors, since you're doing so many repetitive things,
Mhm.
like you're saying, even just making slates, we start to lose. We want to become
Yeah.
something, we want to make money, we want to be seen, and
Mhm.
you start to forget, or maybe and some people start to forget why.
Yeah.
So,
I
what?
I
Yeah. Why did
sorry.
you make? No, no, no. Yeah, keep going. I love hearing you talk. Go ahead.
I I think that I think that it's hard to be distracted from the line of work that you wanna do. It's easy to become fixated on the fact that, "Oh, I'm only acting when I'm booking roles," or, "Oh,
Mhm.
I'm only acting when I'm presently on stage," but that's not necessarily true. You can create and do whatever you need to do to get your goals accomplished right now. You can If you want something, you go for it. That's what I
Mhm.
did with Syracuse, and I'm
Yeah.
just creating something for myself, you
Yeah.
know?
That is going to help others in return. And speaking of the why, I mean, even if you're not an actor watching Slate, what are
Mhm,
you hoping audiences get out of
mhm.
watching this film that you made?
I'm hoping that people will realize that whatever dreams or whatever goals that you need to accomplish, whether they feel so small or insanely huge, you have the capability to accomplish them in your lifetime. And
Mhm,
always there's always room for mistake, there's always room for trial and error, but as you can see with the rejection that also comes with this side of the industry, that's your only way of getting closer to that dream.
mhm,
And once you face rejection and you face, "Oh, sorry, you're not fit for this," it's another door opening for your perfect path. So
mhm.
whatever goals or aspirations that you have in your life, keep working because it will come. If you put in the work, you'll receive it back. And I believe in that so hard. So
Absolutely. I love that. And one thing I mean, without giving anything away, even though we're all talking a lot about this film, but just the doubt. It's so, no matter what industry you're in,
Mhm.
whatever dream you have, having that
Yeah.
doubt of like, should I still be doing this after
Yeah.
like that constant rejection? I really
Mhm.
felt that hard in
It's
watching it.
so easy to fall into that trap too. And it's kind of only inevitable that you're going to have those thoughts and those feelings. If I'm not physically validated by the others that are booking me, then what's my worth in this industry? Where am I
Mhm.
going to end up? Who am I going to become? But you have to be validated with yourself, and you have to realize that yes, I'm doing this for a reason because I love doing this, and this
Right.
is what makes me happy. And if I can't see myself being successful with the people that I'm auditioning for, then I'm going to create for myself. I'm going to make those opportunities happen for myself.
And speaking of creating for yourself, this is part of our high school films. Why do you
Mhm,
think it's so important for especially young artists like
mhm.
yourself to share their voice? Sometimes, I mean, it's your first film. Some people think
Yeah,
I'm too young. I don't know enough. Like, why
yeah,
is it good just to throw yourself into
right.
it?
Well, for being a part of the industry on that standpoint, it's kind of hard as a young actor wanting to express your thoughts and your aspirations with the industry, because as you get older, you start to see older people playing younger, and
Mhm,
it becomes harder to find that balance of, oh, am I going to book this, or am I too old, or am I too young? But I think as a high school student, it's it's very easy to kind of push down and hide the way that you feel out of anxiety or fear,
mhm,
and I definitely fall victim to that. I think we all have, or we all do. But I think that once you're outside of whatever bubble you're in, or you're finally alone in a space where you can feel the freedom to truly be yourself, and you don't have to hide anything because of what others might say because they're really insecure. But um once you finally have that mentality, the world is your oyster. You can create, and you can innovate, and you can truly exuberate who you are into the world.
mhm. Absolutely. Matea,
Mhm.
you were the writer, director, producer, star, editor of this film. What was that process like? What was the hardest part? What was the best part? Like, what was it
Mhm.
like wearing all the hats?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was not an easy task. I didn't honestly have a script for this. It was weird because it was such a personal story. I kind of knew what the script was already gonna be, and I was taking it as a shot by shot basis. Like, I don't
Mm,
think you're supposed to do that, but I would kind of shoot this production according to beginning to end, and how I thought each shot would progress into each other and the settings. And I would visualize myself in my own personal space and kind of dramatize it onto a stage, and how can I use the lighting and the different props and the settings that I had available to me to dramatize this part of my life. But the easiest part for me was honestly probably the acting, because it was such a
mm,
personal story. It was more natural to play.
mhm.
But I think the hardest part was the editing, because that was my first time ever truly editing. Like, I make other short films on my phone, and I use iMovie. I
Uh-huh.
have never used like an actual software. So that was stressful.
Right.
It was fun, but it was stressful because I was sitting in front of a computer for a day for a 4-minute film. So I don't know how professional editors do it. You have all the credit. It's crazy. It's very stressful, but I think it was so interesting to see how you can really capture a second layer of storytelling through editing. Yes,
Mhm,
the director gets to dictate the stories, and so does the lighting technicians and the actors and everyone on set, but the editors really put all the entire story together. So when they're
right.
putting in different sequences and different shots, they're going to manipulate how the audience is going to perceive a scene, or how they're going to perceive the emotions in this, based on different shots that they're going to
Mhm.
sequence together. So that was really fun to learn about, but it was definitely the hardest part,
Yeah.
because I've never been used to that before.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love about film. It really is such a collaborative effort, but when you're doing it by
Mhm.
yourself, it's like you really surprise yourself, right? Like with what you
Yeah.
can handle.
No,
And
yeah.
you really had to yeah, you had to learn a whole new system and you were able to do that.
You need a creative team to make a film. It's impossible to do it without it, and I had such great
But
help.
not impossible. You did it. You did it. It
I
made
did
it be
it.
better with a creative team. Maybe the next time you'll have more of a
Right.
collaboration.
I did that because I knew what I wanted to tell from
Right.
my personal experiences, but I had such amazing help from amazing friends that I'm still friends with to this day, that have only been friends with for those 2 weeks, and I met
Yep.
them first there. And they really opened my eyes to how I can let my passions and my goals shine by being who I truly am. But yeah, that was an experience that I'll never forget. It was definitely the highlight of my summer. And I just met incredible people. I worked with incredible people and I learned incredible things.
Absolutely. Shout out to everyone who helped you out, all those
Yes.
amazing friends,
Thank
and
you
where
so
you were.
much.
We're wrapping up here, but I really want to hear one last thing from you, and that is how you came across Garden State Film Festival and
Mhm,
how does it feel to have Slate screening
mhm.
there?
Well, from all the friends that I was working with, we would all talk about, oh, what if we entered our films in like film festivals for fun, blah blah blah. And this one, like I guess I'll just enter it like for fun, not really thinking anything of it because it was the first one that I created. So yeah, that's how I heard about you guys, and I entered, and yeah, here I am.
Amazing. Are you going to be there to watch the screening live?
Yes, I hope so. If I don't see, the thing is, I might be in the middle of my lacrosse season here at school, but if I don't have a game, which is clearly the end of the world if I miss that here, um, I will be there front row.
Okay, that's tough because I'm like, I want you to be there, but also
I
you
know.
got to be in
You know what?
lacrosse.
I will make a very intense effort.
If you end up coming, that'll be amazing, and we can't wait to see you. But for everyone
Thank
else who
you.
will be there to watch Slate and represent Mattea, if she can't make it, let me tell you how you can watch Slate. It will be screening Saturday, March 23rd to 2024 in the film block 9:15 to 11:45 a.m. at the Berkeley Hotel. So definitely come check it out. Hopefully Mattea will be there and you can meet this amazing filmmaker and artist. And Mattea, thank you again for taking the time out to talk to me, and congratulations.
Thank you again so much for having me.
Of course. We'll see you guys at the festival. Bye.
Bye.